first item is our budget update. So I will turn it over to Enrique Catalan to share with the community where we are in terms of our budget.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to give a very short update because there's not a lot to update from the last time. So, Craig, on the revenue reductions, we already discussed all these revenues. We were reduced by $160,000 in state aid. We're expecting about a reduction of $450,000 in sales tax receipts. Reduction in other income, that it's basically interest income. I'm expecting a reduction of $150,000. On the other hand, we have new revenue increases. We agree with Entergy on a memorandum of agreement for a 2-year period. Originally, the pilot was going to be reduced by 30% the first year and an additional 30% the following year. We agree that the reductions will be, instead of 30%, 25% the first year and an additional 25% for the second year. That represents an increase of $625,000 for the 2021 year. Originally, the pilot payment was going to be $21.2 million, and now it's up to $21.9 million. Any difference between the revenue increases and revenue reductions will be funded by additional fund balance, and that difference is $135,000. So this is where we have the budget today. The board will vote in our next board meeting. Joe will be talking about that. But if we approve the budget as is and we make no changes, then those are the changes in the revenues. Any questions?
Do we have any questions from the board? I think it's great that we were able to change those pilot agreements. We certainly can use the extra funds at the moment. So thank you, Enrique, for those efforts. All right, Joe, I think that brings us to our next item.
Yes, with the governor's executive order that came out on Friday, in typical fashion, talking points come out around midday, and then the details and fine print and red tape come out later. So what we produce is just a quick one-pager on what the community can expect in terms of a revised timeline for all matters pertaining to budget and election. So we identified the 5 major impact areas that the governor's executive order created. First is the uniform voting date. That will take place now on June 6th. The vote will not take place on May 19th. It will take place on June 6th. The manner in which everyone will vote is they will receive basically a version of an absentee ballot. So all registered voters in the Hendrick-Hudson School District will receive a absentee ballot with a addressed and stamped return envelope for those to be mailed back to the district before the close of business on June 9th. Those that require an official absentee ballot will still be entitled to one. Those are folks who are out of the country or are registered voters and not able to be able to send in a normal ballot that we're mailing to their homes. That will still be an option for them. The school budget report cards, these will be submitted to New York State no later than May 22nd. The budget report card is the information around revenues and expense projections, as well as other mandated reporting requirements, including potential contingent budget and the like. And lastly, school board elections. The governor has waived many of the requirements for a school board election. And if anyone is interested in running to be a school board member, earlier today we posted the process on our website of how to fulfill those requirements or amended requirements by the governor. What's not on this document are two important dates that the board has been made aware of, and we put these dates on our district calendar. The first is next Monday, May 11th, will be the budget approval process. We will have another meeting like this where Enrique and I will walk the community through the budget and seek the board's approval. And what that does is that kicks off a series of events with mandated reporting to New York State, as well as preparation of budget materials for the community. On May 27th, we will host our budget hearing, also at 6 p.m. The budget hearing will be different because all of our school board meetings, until further notice, are not open to the public for physical and social distancing reasons. So what will happen is basically we will accept comments and questions by way of email, and those comments and questions will be read out during the budget hearing on May 27th. If we do not receive any emails with questions or comments, then we will not. We will start the budget hearing, and then we will immediately adjourn it because there are no comments or questions. So that's what we can expect in this very truncated and abbreviated timeline that the governor has set forth. It goes without saying that this executive order has placed a very huge stress on all school districts, notwithstanding our own. To try to conduct a full budget vote by mail is going to be very time consuming and is going to be extremely costly. It's going to cost us in upwards of $50,000 to pull this off. Moreover, while we understand that election or vote by mail has some positive attributes, what we don't yet know is what the guidelines will be for counting those votes. In a normal vote, in normal circumstance, there are very specific procedures that need to be followed from the Board of Elections. We don't know what those will be, but when a number of individuals are manipulating paper ballots, and manipulating I mean by handling paper ballots, I don't see how we can not have a group of people in a small confined space trying to count ballots. So there are a lot of questions that remain. While these dates may be out there, there still are many questions that various advocacy groups are trying to get a better handle of. If there are any changes, we'll share them with the community, but this is the best that we know, and this is what we have been advised to share with the community. So information is on our website, and these target dates of May 11th and May 27th will also be on our calendar on our website.
Thank you very much, Joe.